Are your health problems stopping you from converting to Islam? In this episode, Eric explains how his autism did not stop him from converting. Learn the incredible story of how this boy with autism accepted Islam and has been a practicing Muslim for over 10 years now. See how Eric overcame autism and brain damage, so you can also be inspired to overcome your health issues and problems. Eric is 28 years old and converted to Islam 10 years ago in 2010. He is originally from England, but now is living in the USA on the East Coast. He likes traveling, reading books, and gaining knowledge.
Okay, we're here with Eric, who converted to Islam about 10 years ago in September. So, all right, and this is the first time I think he's ever been interviewed, am I right?
Yes, correct.
So, all right. So, I guess I'll just kind of get into it. Was it hard for you to convert?
No, not at all.
Not at all? Okay. What was it like when you converted 10 years ago?
It was like a special feeling because, it's like a brotherhood,
Mm-hmm.
or sisterhood for you. But it's a special feeling because you feel like you're part of something.
Mm-hmm.
All I did was say the Shahada, and I felt with sincerity, of course. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I was part of something finally. I actually can feel like myself and my moral values lined up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything.
Well, that's wonderful. So, why did you become Muslim?
I was looking for the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I believed in one God. I always believed in Jesus, alayhi salam.
Mm-hmm.
He's a prophet of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone knows that.
Sure. So.
Yeah.
So, how did you even find out about Islam? How did you learn about Islam? What was it like for you? What research did you do? How did you learn about Islam?
Well, I first came into contact with Islam in, I guess it was I think it was high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were talking about like the Ottoman Empire and like old cultures and like from civilizations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in contact with that with my first, interaction with and I had friends that are Muslim too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had friends in my class that were Muslim. I knew people outside of, I knew people I think from work that were Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
I just had friends out throughout my life that were Muslim.
Mm. That's wonderful.
And I did my research by asking them questions, and actually I think I met one of my good friends through a park chat a long time ago, and it was a forum, and it was we were just chatting and stuff like that, and I just met them, and I added them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk there, and then she introduced me to one of her friends. Her name's Nashin.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Indian descent, but she was born in Kenya, but she lives in India now. But
Okay.
I met her, and she told me about the religion and stuff like that. And I had Turkish friends too. So my Turkish friend converted me actually.
Oh, how wonderful! That's great. So, were you religious before?
I don't think I was before Islam, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, tell us about the day you converted. So, was it planned?
Okay.
How did that happen?
No, it wasn't planned because everything is by God's will,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I saw my friend. It was a community day actually at this high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Catholic high school actually, and they were doing community day for the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there, and I was actually, funny thing is, they were actually doing voting registration too at the same day.
Wow.
And I actually voted. I signed up to vote that day, and it was actually ironically I voted to become Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I became Muslim when I saw my friend Sangul. She was doing a community service.
Mm-hmm.
And told me the Shahada, and I said the Shahada with sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
and I became Muslim.
Wow. That's wonderful. So, did you feel anything special when you said the Shahada? And some people feel something different or unique or, surrounding that moment.
I would say I felt blessed because God was letting me enter His religion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, was there anything difficult for you to learn as a new Muslim? I mean, there's a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot out there, a lot to learn. Praying and just sort of different etiquette, if you know what I mean. Different pragmatics in a way. Do you have any problems with that sort of thing?
Yeah, first, like, since I am autistic, I have trouble learning things, so praying was like a struggle for me at first.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And learning Arabic for the prayers, that was a little bit hard too. I mean, I'm more of a one-on-one person, so if I'm in a class, it's not gonna be as easy for me to learn something. But if
Sure.
I'm learning one-on-one with someone, then it's easier to learn the language and the prayers and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been learning ever since. I mean, I learned about different topics like from marriage to Sharia law, which is Islamic law, God's
Mm-hmm.
law,
Mm-hmm.
to I've never been to a janaza, but I actually got to see my Muslim brother being prepared for that, like the cleansing of the washing, the dead body.
Sure. Did you say your daughter? Who was prepared for it?
My Muslim brother, he was not a
Oh, your
blood
Muslim.
brother, he was a friend.
Sure, of course, your brother. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he was like really special to me.
That sounds like you were very close, and that it was sad that he. But I mean, we all have to eventually make that transition.
Yes,
So
that's inevitable.
it is. It's true. So with having the diagnosis of autism and the brain injury, how has that impacted your your conversion? Has that had any impact at all, or is it just kind of just sort of background noise, I guess, the best way I can think to put it?
No, I mean, when I converted, it was pretty simple. I mean, just like anything else, like riding a bike, takes a little practice to get into things. But yeah, everything was easy for me when I became Muslim, like the conversion and all that process.
Well, that's wonderful. So, did you notice any changes in your life after you converted?
Oh yes, definitely. I gave up pork instantly.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I just got that like cold turkey.
Oh, that's good though. I mean, yeah. I think
I wasn't
sometimes.
really much. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I should listen more.
I wasn't really much of a fan of pork anyway in general, so it was kind of easy to give up. And the thing about like before I converted, I prayed to God. Like this was like late, I think in a month or two before I converted, or
Sure.
I was at my uncle had cancer. He had stage 4 bone cancer, and then I was praying to God, asking him to like heal him and stuff like that. And miraculously, he recovered from it.
Yeah.
So prayer works. I wasn't Muslim at the time, but still believed in it.
Sure. I mean, everyone can pray.
Yeah. And then like after that, and I was like, after when I became Muslim, I was convinced that like I was happy with the result of what happened. So God hears everybody.
Yes. So did anyone else notice any changes in you after you became Muslim? Or any outer changes?
Outer changes meaning?
Like somehow did people, of course, as a woman, they noticed that I became Muslim right away because I was wearing the hijab. But for a man, after they convert, did they notice that maybe you carried yourself differently, or that there was just an outer change, an appearance?
Oh yes. I mean, I wear the kufi occasionally. Like I'm outside with my kufi, walking around my neighborhood. I listen to Islamic music. I try talking a good kind,
Mm-hmm.
you know, good kindness, caringness.
Mm-hmm.
I try to help people best I can. I do, I want to get to charity and all that stuff.
Sure. That's wonderful. So, did you come up with any, do you have any new good habits after you became Muslim?
Yeah, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
being kinder and being more sincere. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
now that I have in mind.
Well, that's wonderful to be able to be kinder and more open, I suppose, to being kind, because, yeah, sometimes it's hard, especially when you convert, because not everyone is supportive. How was your family? Were they supportive? How did they feel about your conversion?
Well, I have two religions in my mom and my dad's side. My mom's Christian, my dad's Jewish.
Oh.
So you can only imagine how my Jewish side felt.
Yeah.
It was not easy. My dad's the one that really has contacted me on my Jewish side. They're not married anymore, but
Sure.
my dad's separated and not separated, divorced.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard because I feel like they've abandoned me, my Jewish side. They don't talk to me or anything.
Really? I'm surprised because, I mean, Judaism is very monotheistic, and it's interesting.
Yeah. But if you read the Quran, it says the Christians are more in kindness, pretty much, to the Muslims than the Jews are. They're more in enmity.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they may be more closer in religion than the Christians.
Mm-hmm.
But the Christians still have some similarities with us too. So we're still calling them brothers in humanity and stuff like that.
Yes. They're people of the book as well. So
yes,
it's just a different book, but yeah. So, all right. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, I do try to do interfaith dialogue with people, but
Mm-hmm.
I've tried that in the past and it didn't work with a priest I tried talking to.
Sure.
So I just do it with random people that I know on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. That's wonderful. There's a word for that. What is that word? It starts with a D.
Dawa.
Dawa. I always forget. I'm still, like I said, I'm brand new. So I think it's good. So how people have they been receptive with your sharing of Islam with them, or how's that going?
So far it's been okay. I've been trying to get into the community and like talk about it too in my area.
Mm-hmm.
But I do outside my actual community because they don't like soliciting in our development.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I have to like go outside and I'm gonna try to do like a virtual something like this,
Mm-hmm.
like me or something like that, to do dawah and like give them material and help them out, like learning just about the religion, not converting them, just giving them information. That's what it is really.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's very important because it's important to have the right information. So there's so much misinformation out there. Now, has that misinformation impacted you in any way?
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's bothered me. Like when people say things like misconceptions, it just like totally turns me off, and I'm like, no, that's not right. This is how it is. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. And are they open to you letting them know what the actual truth is about things?
Some people are, some people are not.
Yeah. I found that to be true in my case too. Some people just, you can't, no matter what you say, they're not going to change their mind.
Yeah.
They're pretty set in their ways. So, all right. Well, you're doing great. Is there anything else you kind of want to tell me about? I mean, 10 years, you've been a Muslim much longer than I have been. So
Yeah, I'm still learning every day. I mean, I get distracted by things, the dunya, the worldly life, but I try to be on track. It's not that easy, of course, because, Shaitan, the devil, Ilvis,
Yes, yes.
Iblis, we call him Iblis.
Iblis or Shaitan. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's always distracting me. Even when I'm trying to pray, he's trying constantly whispering things in my ear and saying, "Oh, did you forget this? Did you remember this? Blah blah."
Did you forget to say this part of the prayer?
No, like that, like stuff that I would never, like you would never like remember throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just remember, I'm like, oh, I remember that, and then I'm like, oh, I'm praying, right? I can't do doing that right now.
It's true. It's easy to get distracted during prayer. I find that can be a problem too. So like you're saying, you weren't thinking about it until that moment, and then suddenly there you are thinking about it, and it's completely unrelated to praying at that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. I find that happening to me as well. So, did you find anything that was like conflicting or contradicting what you had previously believed in, or was it like just everything, or interpretations of things? So,
the interpretations of like the Bible and stuff like that.
well, no, like of the Quran. Like, there's a lot of different.
Oh no, the Quran I consider the perfect word of God, and I consider it to be like perfect in every way.
Sure. Oh yeah.
When I look at the Bible, I see contradictions because like Jesus is this, Jesus is that. Like, make up your mind. What is he?
Yeah. There definitely. I agree with you on it. There were a lot of contradictions, and that is one thing I noticed in the Quran. There weren't any contradictions.
Yes.
So what would you tell someone who was considering converting to Islam?
I would say, believe with your heart. Don't fall in love with a religion because of someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they're like, you have a spouse that's Muslim and they say, oh, I love you, will you convert to Islam? Like, don't do that. That's not how it works. It's believe with your heart. It's sincerity. If you're forced to convert, you didn't really convert at all. That's not conversion. That's not what conversion is about. There's no, what's the word? Compulsion in religion.
Yeah, there's no compulsion in religion. That's in the Quran. I remember reading that when I first read the Quran.
Yes.
What advice would you give to someone who just became Muslim, like a new convert? What would you say to them?
First, I would say, congratulations, welcome to the Deen. If you need any help with anything, just ask around. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Be open-minded. And just believe in what God says, Always have faith in, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word, but just like believe and like have sincerity and just don't doubt anything.
Kind of, I don't know, maybe like faith? I don't know if that's the right word. Have faith?
Yeah, have faith. I guess that would be proper word.
So kind of going back to talk a little about your diagnosis of autism. I guess I have a question for you with that. I have a son who has autism, and he is not verbal, the one I was telling you about earlier. And my question is, as a parent, how can I like express to him the beauty of Islam and know that he understands? Like, he can't literally talk, so he can't even say the Shahada. So I wonder sometimes, what about children like mine, right, who can't really take the Shahada because they just physically can't do it? What about those children?
God knows what's in their hearts and everything like that. God knows that they have a struggle within themselves, like whether they can't speak, they can't see. God knows that, So he knows their intentions and he knows what's in their hearts. So I mean, you can show them like a book with pictures and stuff like that, and like, you can just like teach them like simple things about the religion.
Sure. Okay.
Obviously, they can't talk, so it's gonna be harder. But you can like I know you as a parent you probably know how to communicate with them effectively.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the reason I became a speech therapist was to help him. So yeah.
Mashallah.
Mashallah, mashallah. And he has a special computer that he can, talk with. So we can communicate, but sometimes I just wonder, especially since I've just become Muslim, and how do I express this to my son? Because it's a beautiful religion. Yeah.
It is.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
My Muslim name is Mustafa. That's one of my names.
Okay. Mustafa. That's a beautiful name. What does it mean?
It's the name of the prophet. I can't remember the name of what it means exactly because I don't really remember. I have bad memory also. That's also one of my downfalls.
Ah, well.
Flaws, I guess you call it.
Which is okay. I mean, it's still a beautiful name, and it's the name of a prophet, so that's wonderful. Anyway, well, I haven't really got any more questions. I was trying to keep it short and simple for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. What made you want to convert?
Oh, well, I read the Quran. That was what made me want to convert. I read the Quran, and I couldn't put it down. I read it in a week and a day, in English, of course. I don't speak Arabic or read Arabic very well, although I'm much better at that now. But really, it was just reading the Quran. Yeah. It just made sense to me.
Yeah, that's how it should be. If it makes sense to you, you should try to learn about it, you know?
So, yeah. All right, well, I think we're done for right now. It really was nice talking to you, and thank you for your testimony. And this will be a great help, inshallah, to other people who are considering Islam. And yeah, thank you very much. Jazakallah khair.